everybody. So this is the Vibe Dance Company makeup tutorial for Recital of 2018-2019 season. So we are going to start with our super basic, it's like a foundation stick, and this is totally optional, but the reason I recommend it, and you don't have to get this exact one, I just went to Ulta last night and grabbed some basic things. This is the Revolution, let's see here, Fast Base Stick Foundation F4, because I thought it would match Kira's color pretty well. And it's just so that way they have something to stick to the makeup. So I recommend that you have the little ones lay down when you do their makeup. So we're going to just throw on some foundation. And then I personally use, and I personally recommend, a sponge when applying foundation, and you just smooth it in. See, we can hardly see it now, which is the perfect tone. You don't want anything that's gonna make them look orangey. You just want them to blend straight in. Go ahead and close your eyes, sweet girl. There you go. You just want to blend it in. It just gives your makeup something to stick to. I know the thought of putting foundation on a little one is just like, oh my goodness, but it's really just because those lights can be so warm that they will start to sweat a little bit on their face, more so than they do in practice. And you just want to make sure that your makeup isn't going to completely run off as far as your blush and everything goes. So let's get that blended in on the side, my dear. All right, so once you've got your foundation on, the next step that I recommend is just a little bit of a basic contouring that is not, I do not recommend the cream base, I recommend the powder base. Because of Kira's fair skin, we are going to use the medium contour. And I just am going to take a basic blush brush, and I'm just going to dab it in there. And then this is super simple. Have them turn their head to the side. Can you make a kissy lip? Yep. And I'm just going to grab from the bottom of her cheekbone and sweep back and forth, kind of like a low brow, or not a brow, I'm sorry, a low cheek. And then I'm just going to go up the side of her face, really blend it into her hairline. Go ahead and give me the other side, kiddo. And down again below the cheekbone. And just like I said, powder is so much easier to blend and just give them that little bit of a defined cheekbone for when they're on stage with all those lights. You don't want to get washed out. And especially with the video cameras, you don't want them to not be able to see their face and have it be all white. Good. Then once you do that, I recommend the normal skin tone color. I just wipe off my brush and use the same brush to go right underneath, turn to the side, kiddo, right underneath where we did that contour. And I would recommend wearing a jacket or a t-shirt when you do this. I would not recommend wearing your dance costume. Other side, sweetie. Perfect. Right along that bottom just to blend everything in. Beautiful. Let's see, the next step is just a pinkish blush. You don't want to get too red just because they are so young. This is personally a cream-based blush, but you can also use a powder-based blush as well. Just anything works. With them being so young, I really do recommend just a pinker color. And we're just gonna do circular motion. So circular on the cheekbone and then pull back. Circular, pull back to blend it in with your contouring. Which, like I said, all optional. Blush is mandatory. So far the only thing we've done that's mandatory is the blush. But trust me when I say your blush will stick a lot better and you'll feel like, man, it was worth putting that blush on when you can actually see it after an hour if you put foundation on first. Good job, thank you, Miss Kira. Then the next thing and last thing we're gonna do, which is also optional, but we're just gonna use it from our contour palette, is take a little bit of that bright white. She's gonna look up, and I'm gonna bring her chin up too, and we're gonna just sweep under the eye, top of the blush. It just gives them a little bit of glimmer, a little bit of sparkle for that stage look. Perfect, beautiful. All right, so next are the eyes. I recommend starting with eyeshadow. I decided to just pick up, and like I said, you just need to do, oop, I can't even get it open, there we go. Neutral palette. So all of this is from Ulta and Dubuque. A lot of it's the e.l.f. brand. Super reasonable. Don't go out and buy super expensive things. Just a super neutral palette. We are going to grab from this neutral palette towards the darker end to start with. And I'm just going to dab a little bit on. Go ahead and have them close their eyes. And I layer it like a cake. So we're gonna start with the dark on the outside. We're gonna do a medium shade on the inside and then a light on the very inside. And all I do is I literally start from the outside, work my in, and pull in. I know there's lots of complicated ways you can do eyeshadow. Not worth it for the little ones. Layer it and it looks beautiful. And we're gonna do the other side. Again, starting from the outside and just pulling in. That's all I'm doing, just pulling some stripes in. Nothing too crazy. And the next color I'm gonna use is just more of a neutrally bronzy, kind of between the spectrum of super dark and super light. I'm just gonna go right in the middle of a neutral palette. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna start in the middle and pull in. And one more time on the other side. I'm gonna start in the middle and just pull in. Just like painting stripes. That's what we've got so far. And then the last color I'm gonna use is the lightest color in my palette. And I'm gonna take that and it's gonna finish off the inside. And I'm just gonna pull away from her nose, away from her nose. I'm gonna grab a little bit more. Away from her nose, so we get right on in there. And the other side, away from her nose. Perfect, go ahead and keep your eyes shut, Miss Kira. So as you can see, we went the darkest, middle, light, and then light, middle, dark. And that's all you really need. You don't have to go too crazy, nothing too complicated. So the next step that we're gonna do, and this, again, I've told parents, choose your battles. If you have a little one that's content laying there with their eyes shut, I would recommend false eyelashes over trying to do mascara. And what we're gonna do is we're simply going to take, I recommend the Duo brand eyelash glue. Super inexpensive, super easy to use. It's gonna go on white, but it's gonna dry clear. So the trick of the trade is making a straight line of glue on your hand. Taking your false eyelash upside down, dabbing it in the line of glue, like so, and like so. And I actually wave the lash back and forth a little bit to let it get a little tacky before you put it on. Sometimes you're like, man, this thing isn't even sticking because it's too watery. The trick is you've got to let it kind of start to dry and become tacky for that to work. Then all you have to do is ask them to close their eyes. We're gonna line them up. And you just kind of push and hold until it starts to stay and take shape to their eyelid. It doesn't take as long as you think, just a few seconds. This is why falses can be so much simpler than actual mascara, because once you get it down, go and open your eyes, that glue will dry clear. Lift up your chin, kiddo. And you've got your eyelashes on. So on the other side, I'll show you what a trick you can do if you choose not to use false eyelashes. I'm gonna take the pillow out from underneath your neck, kiddo, just so your chin's not up. Sorry, found it, have me super comfortable. Go online, lay down, close your eyes. So have them close their eyes with their chin up and just grab the tips of their lashes. So don't worry about getting super close to their waterline, because what you want to stand out are just the length of their lashes. So just have them close their eyes, count shape, whatever it takes, tell you a story, do your ABCs, and just grab the tips of their lashes. Go ahead and open up. As you can see, that's more than enough when she opens her eye to be able to see her mascara. So then the last thing we're gonna do, I'll give you your pillow back, kiddo, are her lips. So for lips, I just recommend something that isn't super bright red and something that's not crazy dark. I haven't seen this color on actually. So this is a little purple. I'd go something purpley pink. But go ahead and open up. Perfect. And just throw a lip on them. Good job. Rub your lips together. Good. Perfect. And make sure we shape the top of the lip. Just follow their natural lip line. Nothing too crazy. Perfect. Awesome, awesome. So there's your lip. And then the last step, go ahead and close your eyes, sweetie. If you're not using false eyelashes, I would recommend trying to, on their waterline, the very top, not their waterline, the very top of their lid, I do not recommend liquid for little ones. I would recommend a pencil all day long because liquid, they're not going to be able to wait long enough for it to dry. So we just get a little bit of a line with the crayon, just repeated strokes back and forth to get the eye line. And there you go. You got enough of a face for stage. I don't recommend messing with the bottom lashes or the bottom line for little kids unless that's something you would personally like to do. So there is our makeup tutorial for the little ones especially, and for the older kids for our 2018-2019 recital. Thanks everybody.